Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namaste, everyone. Simon here. Today, I'm going to share with you. What am I going to share with you? My top 5 crypto mistakes that I've actually made. And in making them, I've lost probably between $50,000 to $100,000, both in money I could have made and actual money. So I speak from experience, and I'm making this video so you don't have to. And today I'm fasting. So when you fast, to kind of fasting from technology, although I am making this video, fasting from food, fasting from sensory experiences, what comes up is your own inner demons, right? Your hunger, your toxins start to come up and detoxify. Your body starts to detoxify. So, and it's hard to talk while you're detoxifying. And you start thinking about the mistakes you've made. You start thinking about all the problems, you start feeling your body, your aches and pains and things like that. And I thought, why don't I share this with the world, with people, so that they can take this information and act on it, learn from it. All right, so here we go. These are the top 5 crypto mistakes I've made, so you don't have to. Number 1. So most of you know we have a group called Crypto Questions Answered. We have a lifetime group where we have a private lifetime Telegram group and a general Telegram group. Every Friday we have classes. And in those classes, you guys ask questions. And sometimes I see a chart, and it's an amazing chart. Like you ask, how is theta going to do? And I look at the chart. This is actually a true story. Last year, I don't know, sometime September, October, I said, listen, theta is going to explode next year. Its time hasn't come yet. So it's a hold for now, right? And then next year it's going to do really well. Well, I forgot about that Russian. I forgot about that class. So instead of picking up theta at 40 cents, which it was at the time, I picked it up, I don't know, maybe at $2 or something like that, much later, because I had to catch up. So not acting when you have good information, not acting when you know it's time to act. Oh, I should have bought Bitcoin last year. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? Buy it now. In fact, now it's probably, for being honest, to make those huge gains in Bitcoin, it's too late. Let's be honest. It's not going to 10x from here anytime soon. Before it 10x's, many other tokens will pass it by. One of them being Ethereum, in my opinion. I think Ethereum is going to do very well. I've made a prediction about that in another video. You can watch that. I think Ethereum is, I made that prediction when Ethereum was 1,700, and I gave a price prediction for next year. You can check that out. But of course, there are many, many other coins and tokens. So not acting when you know you should. Oh, I'm too lazy. Oh, I'm too sleepy. I'm not really sure. And then a week passes by, and now you're seeing everybody pass you by. All right. Number 2 is, boy, this one just hit me hard this week. So again, in our classes, someone asked me just a couple of days ago, what's the deal with Doge? Because Doge is a recommended coin. I recommend everybody hold some. It's what Chamath calls schmuck insurance, meaning if everything else goes wrong, Doge is probably going to go up. But it's one of those things. But still, it has a lot of Shakti. It has a lot of strength. It has a lot of, even though it quote unquote doesn't do anything, it's past a certain threshold where it doesn't need to do anything. When a woman wears a dress, you don't measure the value of that dress in how much material is used. You measure it in how it accentuates her form. And sometimes a little piece of material that you could hold in your hand is worth $5,000. It's just a little bit of cotton. So sometimes you can't judge the thing by its utility, but by its cachet, its social value. Anyway, so I was asked about Doge, should I sell? And I said, and the chart was absolutely yes. This was when Doge hit 40 cents. And I said, yes, sell and sell now quickly. So then I looked at my phone. I had some Doge and I went to sell it, but it was locked up in lending. So I had Doge in an app in KuCoin, and I had it locked up. So I couldn't sell it. And the next day, it fell from 40 cents to 29 cents. And that cost me about 10, 12,000 bucks. I wanted to sell, I was going to sell all of it. Couldn't sell it. So make sure you can access your funds when you need them to sell, to move them. If you are staking, if you are lending, make sure you know how long it will take to get out of that position and what penalties you will have to face when you're doing that. If you're in a wallet like Celsius, which I love and recommend, and there's a link, not a link, but a code below where you can get 40 bucks just for downloading the wallet and putting 200 bucks in or something like that. And then I get 40, you get 40. It's great. The Celsius wallet only allows you to withdraw to one address. So if you have Bitcoin in Celsius, you can only send it to one address. It's called whitelisting. It's an added security feature that they have. But if that one address that you have in Celsius, or let's say you haven't even set up that address, it'll take you 24 hours to do that, to set it up, or 24 hours to change it. So be aware that if you need that Bitcoin fast and you have a certain wallets that have whitelisted addresses, you may not be able to get it out. You'll have to wait 24 hours. So this has cost me. It cost me not just with Dogecoin, it cost me with another coin that I had staked. So I think this thing alone in the last 2 weeks has cost me over 20 grand. What to do? Now, Dogecoin might go up again. Who knows? But I missed the opportunity to sell when the Prashna, the chart, the astrology was absolutely adamant. You must sell now because it knows it's going to go down. So I missed that opportunity to sell and potentially buy lower. But anyway, to follow the chart, and I couldn't. My assets were locked. This is a hard lesson, believe me, not being able to access your assets when you want them, when you need them, because they're being staked or because they are out being lent out. All right, number 3, boy, sending to the wrong address. I did this in 2018. I had, or 2019, I don't remember. I had 3.5 Maker, MKR, worth in today's value about $11,000. And I sent it to an address, but I sent it to a Maker DAO address. So it wasn't the Maker coin, it was Maker DAO. Of course, I lost it, gone. Or Maker DAI, I think. Forget which one. Gone. So 11 grand gone, just like that. So what do? Well, check the first few letters of the address and then check the last few to make sure they're correct. Then check to make sure it's the actual currency you want to send. That was my mistake. I thought it was Maker. It was Maker DAO or Maker DAI. And if in doubt, this is my number one. Send $5 first. Send $10 of it first. Okay, you'll pay a little fee, $5, $10 fee, big deal. That $5, $10 fee is worth it for you to know that the money is going to get there. Then, so you send a test send. Then the second time, you repeat the process. You just copy and paste the address, but then you know it's going to get there. Then the second time you send for the full amount. This works like a dream. It's great. Sending a test amount first, whether it's $10, $20, whatever the test amount is. All right, number 4. FOMO, fear of missing out, chasing candles instead of letting them come to you. This is why treating investing with a spiritual kind of outlook can make this into a spiritual practice, because you see the greed in yourself. You see yourself trying to follow something that has already, a train that's already left the station. better to catch the next trains. And you don't know. Maybe the next trains will be express and they'll go faster than that other train you were trying to catch. Okay. So there's going to be always another horse in the carousel. Wait for it and be ready to jump. Ready? That goes back to number one. Act when it's time to act, to do it. Number 5 is not getting out when it's time to go. So this is, there's a saying that says, don't hate them, don't date them, just trade them. Meaning, don't hate a coin, don't love it, don't fall in love with it. Be ready to part with it when it's time. Again, this is part of the spiritual practice, not to be too attached to your portfolio, to the numbers on a screen, but to understand, to be relatively unemotional, to understand when it's time to go. So these are 5 that have cost me a lot, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm going to give you a bonus here. And these I've had some exposure to these as well, through some of it through friends, some of it through myself, but falling for scams. If anybody asks for your password or your passphrase, don't give it, even if it's me or someone pretending to be me. Next is losing your passphrases. This is big. This is such a pain in the butt that if you lose your access to your own wallet, you're screwed. So how do you avoid doing that? Well, the reason people fall for scams is usually out of greed, their own greed. Someone makes them an offer that seems amazing. Oh my God. And they're like, yeah, I want this. And they lose their mind. You lose your discriminative ability when you're following, that shady salesperson. But it's because of your own greed. So you got to be honest with yourself and say, okay, is this too good to be true? And if it is, look, and sometimes you'll pass up on an actual real good opportunity, but that's okay. You're protecting yourself. More often than not, 99%, in fact, of the time, I would say, you're going to protect yourself rather than fall for a scam. A couple of my students have been scammed by outside people who, pretended to be someone else. They asked for their passphrase, and that's it. They lost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, sometimes more. So how do you avoid that? Well, just don't try to control greed. I think if it looks too good to be true, it is usually. And I'm not trying to blame or shame the victims here, but the victims have to take some responsibility for, someone didn't come and hit you over the head and steal your wallet. You gave it to them, right? Most of the time. Now, some of the time, yeah, you lost it. Someone stole it from you. And then losing your passphrases, guys. I'm guilty of this as well. And recovering this stuff is so hard. So the answer to this is have as few exchanges, as few wallets as possible, so you don't get confused. All right, well, that's it out of me today. You may be wondering, if you're watching my astrology videos, like what's all this crypto stuff? Well, folks, crypto is, in my opinion, the true democratization of value and finance. And it's where the world is going. I mean, I've seen it both astrologically and just otherwise. And it's the future. And we as astrologers our job is to predict the future, right? So I've, made it my sort of mission and purpose to try to predict real world mundane events, starting with sports, then a little bit into politics, and now into crypto. And I use astrology to help you get an edge so you kind of know what's coming. I did this all the way back, I think in 2018, 2019, predicting Bitcoin, the Bitcoin winter, and a number of other things. I don't always get it right, definitely not. But whatever little edge we can get using this sacred knowledge, and I want to share it with you. And if you want to be part of that group, it's called Crypto Questions Answered. There's a minimum donation of $10 a class now, just because there's so many people and so much demand, and it's a bit of a hassle to process everyone. But your best bet is, if you can afford it, to join the lifetime, which is $300, and it gives you access to our private Telegram group, updates from me, real-time updates during the week. So between classes, if something is urgent, I share it with our lifetimers, and lucky times, tutorials, bonus videos, and all kinds of good stuff like that. So that's your best option if you can. If you can't yet afford it, just drop in, come in class per class, and before you know it, you will be able to afford it. If you don't make these mistakes, if you actually take action, even buying $100 worth of a certain crypto, if it 5x's, now you have 500, right? And now you have more to work with, and so forth. So yeah, so that's it out of me. I hope to see you guys in class, and until then, namaste, and we'll see you in the next video.